Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about maps and how we can give directions to someone using a map and using something called quarter turns and half turns. Now, before the Easter holidays, you may remember learning with Miss Macmillan about grid references and how when we're using a map, you often have letters going along there and you have numbers going up the side. So that when you are telling someone where something is on a map, you can use the grid references to help you. For instance, the zoo on this map up here is in B7. And the library on this map is in, there's the library there. So we might say to someone, it's in E3. The shop is in, you've guessed it, F7. The park is in H4. And the crown shop is in J4. And remember, when we're using grid references, we come along the alley and up the stairs. So we always give the letter that's along the bottom first. Sometimes I like to say bottoms up. That helps you remember. Anyway, today, this, as you can probably see, is a map of New York. And I have got my little friend here, and it's the Statue of Liberty. There she is. I'll put her there for you. You can see her. She's got her little wings on to help her remember which way is right and which way is left. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about turns and what kind of turns we can get our Statue of Liberty to do. Okay, the first kind of turn we're going to look at is a quarter clockwise turn. So if I've got my Statue of Liberty in that square there, and I want her to do a clockwise quarter turn, then she starts off facing that way. She wants to turn to face that way, so she turns a quarter turn, and now she's facing that way, and she's gone clockwise, which is the way a clock hands go. We sometimes call it a right angle turn because a quarter turn makes a right angle. Okay, if she wants to make an anti-clockwise quarter turn, there she is. Okay, she starts off facing that way again, and we want to go anti-clockwise for a quarter turn, and she ends up facing that way. So that's an anti-clockwise quarter turn. Again, sometimes called a right angle turn because we've got a wee right angle in there. Now she can also make half turns. So if you can imagine, she's standing in a square up there and she wants to make a half turn. What that means is that she's facing that way and she wants to face in the opposite direction. So she has to make a whole half turn, or halfway round a clock if you like. That's called a half turn. Okay, let's use that as we help her around the map. So we're going to put her at the start. Make sure you know your left from your right first, guys. Our Statue of Liberty, she sometimes forgets. That's why we've got the left on this side. You can just see it no more. And that's why we've got the R for right on this side. Okay. So, my Statue of Liberty wants to start off going to the zoo. She fancies a wee trip to the zoo. So the directions I'm going to give her are to go forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. She has to go forward for 6 places. She then needs to make a clockwise quarter turn. Maybe a right turn you could call it as well, because she turns towards her right. And then she needs to go forward for 1. And there she is at the zoo. Okay, let's start her off again. Now this time she wants to go to the shop, which is up here. Okay, so I'm going to start her off by saying, okay, I want you to go forward for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, boys and girls, it's the hops that we count. We don't count the actual squares, it's the hops. You don't count the square that she starts in. Okay, otherwise that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't count that square because that's where she already is. We just count the hops. So forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward for 5. Then she needs to do a clockwise quarter turn. There she is. And then she needs to go forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she needs to do, now this time she needs to do an anti-clockwise turn. So anti-clockwise quarter turn and forward. Okay, now I'm going to leave her at the shop because she's going to start off at the shop on her journey towards the park. Okay, so she's facing that way. So she's going to have to do a half turn to be facing the right direction to go to the park. So she needs to do a whole half turn. There we go. So half turn and then forward 1, 2, 3. And then she needs to do a anti-clockwise quarter turn. There we go. And then she needs to go forward for 2. 1, 2. And she's at the park. Now from the park to the crown shop, I think you can see that that's really easy. So she just needs to go forward for 2. 1, 2. And she's at the crown shop to buy herself a nice shiny new crown. Okay, now she fancies reading some books, so she's going to go down to the library, which is here. So we're going to make her face in the right direction first. So we're going to turn her around, and it's a clockwise quarter turn or a right quarter turn. So she's facing the right direction. And then she needs to go forward for 1. 1. Then she needs to do another right turn or clockwise turn, quarter turn. There we go. And then forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's at the library. So that was a quick introduction into quarter turns and half turns and how you can use them to give directions. If you wanted, you could go out into the garden and have whoever is at home with you telling you to do some turns and go forward to get you to different places in the garden. That might be quite good fun. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to post up a link to a BBC Bite-Size video, which gives you a little bit more information about directions and turns. And then I'd like you to have a wee go at page 22 of your workbook. And then I'm going to post up a pirate map as well. And if you want to have a go at that, then you can. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.